Sheriff Todd Baxter. My name is Christopher Chichester. I have never committed a crime. Why do I have this check in my hand? County of Monroe, Office of the Sheriff, Inmate Fund Account. Do you know why I have this check in my hand, Sheriff Todd Baxter? This is from Rochester Regional Health. After visit summary instructions, your imaging was normal. You may use Tylenol 1000 mg alternating with Motrin 600 mg, so that one medication taken every 3 hours is needed for pain. Call Dr. Craig Holub, DL, Family Medicine. After visit summary, Rochester Regional Health. Why do you think I just read that? After visit summary, call David Craig Holub, DL. Why do you think I have this check with your name on it here? County of Monroe, Office of the Sheriff, Inmate Fund Account. Does it matter to you? Just check. It's a certification that one of your public employees violently attacked me. Right here. This is the money I had in my pocket on August 30th when your employee violently attacked me. Does that matter to you, Sheriff Todd Baxter? District Attorney Sandra Doorley and Perry Duckles of the District Attorney's Office. What do you think about an employee of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office who violently attacked me outside the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans Food Markets at 2157 Penfield Road? And how Sheriff Todd Baxter is refusing to tell me the name of his public employee who committed this assault upon me. And it's no doubt because of what I've been doing on YouTube for 18 months. I believe. I have no way to prove that. And because I read the salaries. I had to demand the salaries from you, Todd Baxter, more than 50 times, despite the fact your entire nauseating, repulsive, criminal, corrupt existence is tax dollars. I have never committed a crime, and that's totally irrelevant to you. I have never committed a crime, Sandra Doorley, and that's why your assistant district attorney stood in Penfield Town Court twice, first before 70-year-old John P. Lomenzo Jr., next before bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Messler, and did talk. I'm going to read these freedom of information law documents. It's demanding a name. I'm demanding the name first of your female prosecutor before John P. Lomenzo Jr. didn't talk, and next before this three-piece suit, 5'2" boy who also didn't talk. He walks up to Paula Messler, hands her a piece of paper that delivers me to Livingston County Jail. What am I doing in Livingston County? You bald-headed criminal, Todd Baxter. When I've lived in Monroe County for 9 years, you're going to have to answer that for the United States Department of Justice. And I believe I was in Livingston County, not Monroe County, because I would be attacked at Monroe County Jail by one of your employees, and that happened to me the first time I was there. So, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, Perry Duckles. I believe you're the number 2. I could be wrong. I'm going to tell you about a crime by an employee of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, and how Todd Baxter allows his public employees to behave like criminals. So, I leave my residence in Penfield. I walk down Penfield Road to Canandaigua National Bank. And I had $21.39 in my pocket. I withdrew $40, bring it up to what's on this check, $61.39. I walk back down Penfield Road, Sanders Farm Drive, to Willow Pond Way. I'm walking to Wegmans, and I saw the Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicles passing me on Penfield Road. And since I'm not paranoid, I dismissed it, and I shouldn't have, now that I think about it, in hindsight. I reached the pharmacy entrance of Wegmans. 5 Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicles converged upon me. One of the 11 Monroe County Sheriff's Office employees exited the vehicle, ran at me from behind, lowered his shoulder, and knocked me to the ground, and my head slammed against the concrete pavement. It's a violent attack. And there I am laying on the cement next to the pharmacy entrance for Wegmans. And I look to my left as my face is down on the concrete, and I counted 11, and I believe that there were more. And then as I was laying on the concrete pavement, they put the handcuffs on me and put me inside the vehicle. And then I was taken to Rochester Regional Health, where it says your imaging is normal, because I got a hard head, Todd Baxter. So that's why I have Rochester Regional Health, and that's why I have that check. What's the name of your employee that did this to me, Sheriff Todd Baxter? It's a criminal act by one of your taxpayer-subsidized employees. What's his name? What do you think about what I just said, Perry Duckles? Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you at all? I believe the answer is no. Does it matter to you, Sheriff Todd Baxter, that one of your employees attacked me? Michael Radler, does it matter to you? What happens if it would happen to me happened to somebody in your family, somebody you like, somebody you love? Kathleen Miller, does it matter to you what happened to me? What happens if what happened to me happened to somebody in your family, someone you like or you love? William Tadeo, does it matter to you what happened to me? What happened to me happened to somebody in your family, someone you like or you love? Scott Alberti, what do you think about what happened to me, Scott Alberti? What's the morale, Scott, at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? What's the morale, William Tadeo, at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? What's the morale, Michael Radler, at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? Are you being sexually harassed by your male colleagues, Kathleen Miller? Do you know of female employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that are being sexually harassed? Do you know the definition of sexual harassment, Kathleen Miller? It's a man asking a woman out on a date over and over and over. She's under siege. No. It's a man constantly touching, places his hands on a woman at the office. That's harassment. Vile, vulgar emails being sent with these disgusting jokes constantly. That's harassment. Are you, Kathleen Miller, being sexually harassed at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? I hope you're not. Do you know of another female that's being sexually harassed? If the answer is no, then that's good. If the answer is yes, what are you doing about it? I've been demanding now for 12 plus months that Sheriff Todd Baxter has used taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and he's refused to say yes or no. And I believe that a refusal to say no is confirmation that this happens. And if it has happened, that should be publicly disclosed to the people of Monroe County. The people of Monroe County should know that Todd Baxter has used these taxpayer dollars because his own employees can't control their base desires and their disgusting, aberrant behavior. Are you being sexually harassed in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Kathleen Miller? So, Todd Baxter, why is $79,000 Andrew Reale still employed by you? Why is $67,000 Shannon Meyer still employed by you? I go to this gym called PW Fitness. I'm at the back of the gym. I'm on the bench press. Up walks to me a man named Jermaine C. Benman. He goes like this with his hand. I don't acknowledge him because I'm on the machine. I've been going to the gym for 20 years, never once a problem. I lean back on the machine. He stands over me. Benman punches down. My head snaps back violently. He walks away. I had to make a decision right away not to respond with violence. And for the first time in my life, I should have attacked another human being. I should have attacked Jermaine Benman, because that's going to prevent what's going to happen to me when Andrew Reale arrives. We go outside. Andrew Reale tells me to wait in the backseat of his vehicle. He's talking to Jermaine Benman because he just told Jermaine Benman what to say. He walks Benman around to the side of the vehicle. Jermaine Benman says to me, I want to press charges against you. That's how I'm charged for harassment second. Todd Baxter, I've asked you this repeatedly. What's the name of the human being I'm harassing? Why is Andrew Reale still employed at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? What would you think if this happened to Kevin Baxter? What would you think if Kevin Baxter was charged with harassment second, sitting in the backseat of a police vehicle anywhere in the United States of America? What would you think if Zachary Baxter was charged with harassment second, sitting in the backseat of a police vehicle anywhere in the United States of America? And the reason why Andrew Reale does this to me, the reason why Andrew Reale concocts this perversion for me, is he knows my identity because of his parking lot. He knows exactly who I am. I'm not a stranger. Now tell me, Todd, how this is a crime. I'm walking through the parking lot because you concocted this for me for the 4,000th time. Am I New York's first and only 4,000 time criminal? Because that's on the accusatory instrument. And there are people walking through this parking lot all day long. So, why are you telling a civilian that I'm going to be arrested? As I'm walking through the parking lot for the 4,000th time, Elliot Roth works at this building at 2025 Penfield Road. He says to me, "You're going to be arrested." And he has this misanthropic smile on his face. I have never seen a human being smile in my presence like the smile on this Elliot Roth. It was sickening to look at him smiling at me like this when he says to me, "You're going to be arrested." No matter what I thought of a human being anywhere in life, I would never say, if I knew you're going to be arrested, and smile at the person and take pleasure. And he knows because you put that camera on that building. Because Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah live right here next to them at 2041 Penfield Road. So Todd Baxter, this is what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened with Shannon Meyer. I speak to her on the phone for an hour, and she talks like a freak show. And not only just by the sound of her voice, but she doesn't respond to answers. For an hour, I'm talking to her, and I do not know that she's writing a warrant for my arrest. And I had to hold the phone away a few times, and I concluded she's not responding to any of my answers at all, because she's writing a warrant for my arrest. She just wants to be able to go through the motions and say she talked to me. She's not writing a warrant for the arrest of any single other person walking through this parking lot except for me. So where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of the law, Sheriff Todd Baxter? Why is Shannon Meyer still employed? Is she still employed? There's real crime in Monroe County. Violent crime in Monroe County. And here I am talking to Shannon Meyer for an hour, answering every question, telling her things like people walk through this parking lot all day long. What's the big deal? Why are you calling me? Why is this Neeraj and Layla Kumar Shah contacting your office when people are walking through that parking lot all day long, including my neighbor who lives next to me, the elderly woman who lives across the street, Penfield High School students? All day long, people are walking through this parking lot. And I'm saying things like this to her, and there is no response from Shannon Meyer because she's writing a warrant for my arrest for walking through this parking lot. She just wants to be able to say she talked to me. So what Shannon Meyer did, she contacted Steve Desmond, who works for Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. And Todd, what would you think if you're sleeping with your wife at 7 o'clock in the morning, and suddenly they're here with their tractors and the weed whackers and the leaf blowers at 7 o'clock in the morning? Because I believe that your wife would be upset about that. Because I've talked to the neighbors around here too, and they've also said, what are they doing here at that time? They come in whenever they want. And I do not know what the law is for these landscaping operations. It never existed when I was a kid or even 20 years ago. They're everywhere now. If they haven't been here for 7 years, I'm going to conclude, what are they doing here? And I say all this to Shannon Meyer in an hour-long conversation that she's writing a warrant for my arrest, and I don't know she's writing a warrant for my arrest because she wants to get me in handcuffs even though I've never committed a crime. And it doesn't matter that I've never committed a crime. And since I've never committed a crime, I'm going to be in handcuffs on my front lawn as an innocent man. When you're using a civilian named Steve Desmond of Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care to arrive at my residence because Shannon Meyer got together with him, either be on the phone or email or in person, about how to get me to come out of the house. This is what you're doing at your repulsive 1984 party-switching, bald-headed fraud, Todd Baxter. So here comes the guy in his tractor from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. He's got a long gray beard. I see him. I'm sitting right here and I can see him because when I'm sitting here, I can see everybody walk through the parking lot. How do you think I know people walk through that parking lot, Todd Baxter? Because from where I'm sitting, when the drapes are open all day long. So walk through the parking lot. When I say people are walking through the parking lot, it's not because I'm coming back from the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters. It's not because I'm coming back from Penfield Road from the gym. It's because when I'm sitting here, I can see people. And Layla Kumar and Neeraj Shah aren't going to you about any of them except me, and where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of laws. So tell me how this is a crime, Todd Baxter. Because, and also tell me who I'm harassing. I believe I'm the only human being in the United States of America, the only American citizen to be charged with harassment second where there's no victim and where I'm not harassing anyone. If I'm charged with harassment second, I am harassing another human being, and I was in jail for that. And Andrew Reale is still employed by you, correct? I have not seen him in approximately 2 months. The last time I saw him, I just saw him drive by. Where do you think I saw him driving? Where do you think I saw him driving in his vehicle? Do I have to even say it? It's located at 2157 Penfield Road. So Todd Baxter, Shannon Meyer met with Steve Desmond of Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. That's owned by Lori and Albert Broccolo, and I've been in contact with him. And what I'm saying here, I said to him, and I've said this previously on YouTube because I'm relentless. Because I'm trying to remove you from office. That's what I'm doing. I am attempting, doing everything possible to see that you were forcibly removed from office. So, tell me how this is a crime. Here comes the guy in his tractor. I'm sitting here, I see him, I walk outside, I stand here, I tell the guy in his tractor, nobody owns that land, I walk back in my house. How is that a crime? Bald-headed, party-switching fraud, Todd Baxter. Tell me how it's a crime. Then I'm going to Penfield Town Court. I will never go into Penfield Town Court. Do you understand me, Paul C. Metzler? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you sent to 26 Sanders Farm Drive. I will never go in there. And then you can continue to concoct charges for me because I've never committed a crime, as I've just explained. How's that criminal contempt second, Todd Baxter? Tell me, Todd Baxter, how it's a crime to exit my residence, stand here, and say nobody owns that land and walk back in my residence. How's that criminal contempt second? Who am I harassing? Tell me how that's criminal contempt second. Who am I harassing? I will never go into Penfield Town Court, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler. When you tell me, Todd Baxter, how it's criminal contempt second to walk outside, stand on Sanders Farm Drive, and tell the guy in his track nobody owns that land, and walks back to my residence, I may consider going to Penfield Town Court. When you identify the human being I'm harassing, because I'm charged with harassment second, I may consider going in to Penfield Town Court. Do you understand what a pathetic joke, what a nauseating abomination you are, that your employees do not understand what constitutes a criminal act? This happened to me, should never happen in the United States of America. And then, when I'm in Livingston County Jail, who do you think's in my house, Todd Baxter? At 26 Sanders Farm Drive. It is a house. That's why I call it a house. Who do you think's in here, Paula Metzler? Search warrant. A search warrant from $91,000 Lee LaRoque. Now, I'm going to repeat myself, as I said this on a previous YouTube. The reason why I will repeat myself is that the language I use has to be hammered into brains of corruption. And you're corrupt at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. You are corrupt to your core, Todd Baxter. You are corrupt to your core, Sandra Doorley. And you don't know it. You do not know you're corrupt. It does not even occur to you that there's innocence because you cannot make a distinction between guilt and innocence. Why do you think your prosecutor didn't talk in Penfield Town Court, Sandra Doorley? That's why you're corrupt. Your prosecutor did not talk in Penfield Town Court, and you're refusing to tell me the two names. I don't use language just to use language. You, Sandra Doorley, are corrupt because you're even refusing to tell me the name of your two prosecutors who don't talk in Penfield Town Court. You, Todd Baxter, are corrupt because you won't even acknowledge that you put a camera on that building for me. And I finally saw the images after my public defender, Regina Harper, showed it to me. When I was calling the surveillance device that you bought, you were calling Lindsey Barron to Monroe County Office of Mental Health to come to my residence. It's your camera. It's your surveillance device. When I get to those freedom of information law documents, you better tell me how much you paid. And the reason why you refuse is that's going to be a appalling confession to put that camera on that building for me. That's why Elliot Roth tells me you're going to be arrested. There's no reason for a camera to be on that building here in Penfield. There's nothing going on. It's called Consumer Insights, this little business. This is not Bedford-Stuyvesant in 1975, Todd the fascist stooge. There's no crime going on in Penfield. One of the reasons my ex-girlfriend Lauren Riley and I moved to Penfield is that it's safe, even on Penfield Road. Paula Metzler, search warrant. Did you write the search warrant in your little library courtroom office? I believe you did. That's what I'm going to tell the Department of Justice, Paula Metzler. I will tell the Department of Justice you wrote this search warrant, that this is, you sat down and you wrote this. There's no identifying marker. I'll say this again. As I was a public employee for Senate Majority Ralph Marino and Governor George Pataki in Albany, in the Capitol, on the second and third floor, I'd go to the file cabinet and I would take out a document. I'd look at the number that I needed. When I was a public employee on Capitol Hill for Congressman Laura Smith, to Senator Olympia Snow, I'd go to the file cabinet. I'd take out a document that had a number on it. And my colleagues did the same thing. When you're a state employee and a federal employee, and you work in a congressional office, you work in a gubernatorial office, you work in a public office, there are forms that have identifying numbers. This just says search warrant. There is nothing on this. Lee LaRoque, did Paula Metzler type this and give this to you? Because when I returned from jail as an innocent man, this was on the counter next to the television set. You left this behind, Lee LaRoque. This search warrant, Lee LaRoque. Did you sit in the Penfield Town Court office inside the Penfield Public Library with Paula Metzer as she typed out this search warrant that doesn't have an identifying number? What's the answer to that question? $91,000 Lee LaRoque. And you know, Lee, when you came into my house, my residence, I should say, it's not my house, I rent. This is what you left behind. You had these blue gloves on. Papers over here, they're in folders that I have next to me. When I go to YouTube, thrown all over the floor. You took my running shoes, as I said in previous YouTube recently, my gray pair, my black pair, you had them in my hands. They were thrown on the floor. You went through my father's dresser upstairs, my military uniform from the 101st Airborne Division, my dress screens that I have not worn since 1988 were on the floor. Were you in here by yourself, Leah LaRoque? If you were not, Leah LaRoque, how many individuals from the Monroe County Sheriff Office were in here? Because you went berserk in here. You tore the place apart. Looking for what? A hammer. You exited with my Chromebook. This document that does not have an identifying marker that says search warrant, that I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice that you, Paula Metzer, typed in Penfield Town Court with this extremist possibly even right there next to you. And you just handed it to her and she came here. You exited with my Chromebook. How do you look at my Chromebook and decide to take it? Because it's in this search warrant here. Because it says that you have the power to take the device. Any laptops, computers, or tablets. That's what it says right there. Any laptops, computers, or tablets. You, Paula Metzer, empowered this Lee LaRoque to take my Chromebook. So, Lee LaRoque, you read my emails, right? You went to the search history on my Chromebook. What did you find? You're trying to concoct a crime for me by using my Chromebook. Mail my Chromebook back to me. $91,000. Disgusting, vile, sick hack, Lee LaRoque. Paula Metzer. I'm going to repeat myself. I will tell the United States Department of Justice this is an unconstitutional search and seizure. It should never happen to an innocent man in the United States of America. This should never happen to an innocent man in the United States of America. Todd Baxter. Who am I harassing? Ask Andrew Reale who I'm harassing. Fire Andrew Reale. Todd Baxter. How's it a crime to walk outside, stand right here, say nobody owns the land, and walk back in my house? Fire Shannon Meyer. Because of what I'm doing to you on YouTube, you're going to concoct another crime for me. You want me to come out of the house. I leave my residence on August 30th. I walk alongside the residence. I'm walking alongside the residence because I'm going where? Where do you think I'm going? I'm going to Wegmans. I see two of your employees start to run at me from the private property of my neighbor across the street. What do you think about that, Perry Duckles? Got two Monroe County Sheriff Office employees, and what are their names, Todd Baxter? I think one of them is Murphy. Because on the body cam, I heard that name. But then there were two, and then there were five. So you had two in the bushes, and five were here for me. And my neighbor said he saw you outside. Multiple neighbors, in fact. I don't want to give one particular person away. I had multiple neighbors see your employees park on Penfield Road, and two of them walk on to the property of my 72-year-old neighbor. And you were right near her bedroom. I did not tell her that your employees were on her property next to her bedroom because of her age. This is one of the nicest, sweetest people that anybody would ever want to meet. We talk about her dogs, and I did not tell her because I believe that as you get older, you frighten and scare a lot easier than you would be. But if she was younger, I would have told her right away. I would have went over there and knocked on the door. And I said, two Monroe County Sheriff Office employees are on your property right near the window. So, Todd Baxter, tell me how this is a crime. Because you're going to concoct a felony on my back porch. You are such a fucking joke that your employees do not know what constitutes a criminal act, as I just described. And the reason why you continue to concoct crimes for me, the reason why you walked onto the private property of my neighbor is because what I'm doing to you on YouTube and how I read the salaries, and there are multiple reasons for that too. What are your employees doing on the private property of my 72-year-old neighbor? You're waiting for me to come out of my residence. I do. I walk alongside of my residence. I see them running at me. the body cam goes on. When the body cam goes on, that's not a crime. You understand what I just said? Have you seen that body camera footage? I'm wearing camouflage pants. Because I wear camouflage pants when I go where? To weddings. As I run back to my back porch, I'm running away. I'm running away from these two people, and I don't know yet who they are. That's the thing. You bald-headed, party-switching, fanatic, degenerate, and sociopath. I don't know who this is. I run up my back porch. Your employee grabs my arm. The hammer I just grabbed goes up. I pull away. I run back through the screen door into my residence. And then your employee went back to your Jonestown and concocted a felony for me. How is that a felony? If he doesn't put his arm on me and grab my arm, then the hammer doesn't go up. Did your employee go back to the office and say, I swung a hammer at him? I'm running away, you bald-headed psychopath. And I had two of your psychopaths running after me after they hid in the bushes on the private property of my neighbor. You're concocting a felony for me? What are they doing here? I saw the body camera footage. They're waiting for me to come outside. You know what? I believe that was edited. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. Because that's a surefire way to destroy your own credibility. But they're walking around out there and they're waiting for me. They're waiting for me. Your employees are waiting for me to come outside, Todd Baxter, at midnight, waiting for me to concoct a felony for me on my back porch. How am I committing a felony on my back porch? If your employee doesn't grab my arm, the hammer goes up and he can't claim that that's a felony. And guess what, Todd the fascist stooge? That's not a felony. That's not a crime. I'm not committing a crime on my back porch. You, Todd Baxter, are the most disgusting, vile, sickening, pathetic human being I have ever encountered in my life. And you are so delusional. You have no idea that you are the head of a criminal organization. This delivers me to Monroe County Jail. That's defended. How am I defended on a piece of paper? How many times do I have to ask this, Perry Duckles? Why does this accusatory instrument even exist? Get rid of this form. You got somebody, a defendant, on a piece of paper at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office. What do you think about that, Sandra Doorley? How I'm a defendant on a piece of paper. The whole reason why this exists is I'm walking through the parking lot for the 4,000th time. His name, Raj Shah, is in his vehicle. I hear screaming from behind me. I have never heard a man scream like this guy. I don't know what that is. I walk up to him. I say, what's the problem? He's still screaming. As I walk away, tell him to fuck off, and I do what? I give him the official finger of Brooklyn, New York. And this hurts the precious feelings, and this is what he tells Shannon Meyer, that I told him to fuck off and I gave him the finger. What he doesn't tell Shannon Meyer is that he's in his vehicle screaming at me. Isn't that right, Shannon Meyer? Because I told you this on the phone. As to why I use profanity, fuck you, Shannon Meyer. And it doesn't matter to you. You're writing a warrant for my arrest, walking through that parking lot, but not anybody else. This is what they sent me. I'm walking my little guy and my dog every day, same way for 7 years. I've said this repeatedly. This is what they sent me. That's not a title. That doesn't prove anything. I adopted him from Lollipop Farm Humane Society, 2012, with my ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley. We were interviewed. One of the questions were asked at Lollipop, do you have a criminal record? Have you ever been arrested? And Laura and I both said no. Love in his heart. This is my third dog, so I have two dogs to compare him to, if that's the word. I don't like to compare my dogs because they're all different. If you have multiple dogs throughout your life, you know what I mean. But he really has love in his heart. The back window from this repulsive shack, the Shah Law Firm, these two people, Nairaj Shah and Layla Kumar Shah, 50-year-old man living with his mommy, you've leashed upon me. The back window flies open, screaming at me from the woman there. I don't know what that is. I go over there to talk to them. They refuse to talk to me. Your two employees here are here, Todd Baxter, sees my dog within an hour. With animal control, with a pole in his hand, with a noose on it. I say, you'll have to kill me to take my little guy. I walked back to his dog bed. He was shaking. I picked him up. I held him. I said, nobody's ever going to take you from me. How do you come to the house of an innocent American and demand his dog? And that's because your employees want to acquire my dog and then have the satisfaction to exercise power over me. That's why. You're a criminal operation there at the district attorney's office. I'm going to prove it right now with these Freedom of Information Law documents. This is the law. You're compelled to provide me this information. When I say you're a criminal operation, you ignore everyone. You've been ignoring everyone now for 18 plus months. How do you discipline your public employees? These two employees that I just described that walked onto the private property of my neighbor, $79,000 Andrew Alley, $67,000 Andrew Alley. These four employees that work for you, you pathetic fascist stooge, Todd Baxter, should be provided a hearing and fired. Freedom of Information Law. The internal disciplinary records of documentation for employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Todd K. Baxter, that Sheriff Todd K. Baxter is reprimanded, terminated, or disciplined in employment at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Terminated from employment. Terminate Shannon Meyer. Terminate Andrew Alley from employment. I want to be specific about the language I'm using. Terminate Shannon Meyer from employment. Terminate Andrew Alley from employment. Terminate Murphy, whoever the hell that is, that's on the body cam that's out here in my backyard. Terminate from employment the two employees that walked onto the private property of my neighbor. Terminate them from employment. From employment. Fire them immediately, and you won't. Because you're corrupt and you embrace corruption. Todd Baxter. Freedom of Information Law. The internal disciplinary records of documentation for employees of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, District Attorney Sandra. That District Attorney Sandra has disciplined, reprimanded, terminated from employment of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Should an assistant district attorney who doesn't talk in a courtroom anywhere in Monroe County be terminated from employment? From employment. The answer is yes, Sandra Doorley. The answer from you, Sandra Doorley, is no. What's the name of your female public employee at the district attorney's office who didn't talk the first time when I appeared before John P. Lomenzo Jr., the 70-year-old hack? And then you're a male, you're 5'2" three-piece suit boy who sat there and didn't talk in front of Paula Metzler. Tell me their names. It's a public proceeding and you are refusing. Good. The names and salaries of every public employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office of Sheriff Todd K. Baxter. I'm going to take a copy of the payroll of Leila Roped and take out of my residence. If I acquire the new payroll, I'm going to look at it, see how you give raises. I'll go right to YouTube with the raises for everybody. The names and salaries of every public employee at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. Send me the public employee payroll, Madam District Attorney Perry Duckles. Send it to me. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to look at the payroll that Leila Rope didn't come out of my house. I'm going to see who gave raises. I'll go right to YouTube with their raises. This is standard 40-hour work week, correct? When the 41st hour is worked, how do you pay your public employees at the district attorney's office and sheriff's office? How is that done? And you will refuse. Public employees throughout the United States of America abuse overtime. This is greed of the heart. And I believe, Todd Baxter, that your public employees, when they reach the 41st hour, will drive around in the 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours because they want that money. That's how they abuse overtime. I believe. I have no way to prove this. But, Todd, you can simply ask them if they do this. You can ask your own employees, are you driving around on purpose when you're past the 40th hour? And if you are paying your employees a different wage when they work that 41st hour, then you have a list, and that's the word list, of these employees. And then you can see the ones that are number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see your top 10 employees for overtime. And then you, Todd, you call them into your office and ask these 10 employees, why are you earning this amount of money in overtime or time and a half or however that's done? Do you understand me when I say time and a half or overtime? Because based on my experience, your disgusting, repulsive existence, Todd Baxter, you live in 1984 where if I'm not using the right language, you'll think you can get away from it. Time and a half, overtime, however pay beyond the 40th hour. Do you have a list of employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office who you pay overtime or time and a half or any amount of money beyond the 40th hour? How is that done? I have never committed a crime. Total cost of overtime, time and a half, or paid beyond base salaries calculated at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office of Sandra Doorley. Your assistant district attorneys have a case load, if that's the correct terminology. If they have 10 cases, 15 cases per week, will that amount of work take your employees District Attorney Sandra Doorley to a 41st hour. And if they work a 41st hour to a 60th hour, how do you pay public employees for that 20 hours beyond the 40th hour? How's that done, Perry Duckles? And I know what you're thinking, Perry. He needs to be arrested for what he's asking us here on this YouTube. You, Perry, I'll guess, are thinking he needs to be arrested for asking us these questions, having this freedom of information law being on YouTube. I don't know you, Perry. I'm just guessing. And if I have it wrong, if I have that wrong about you and your character, Perry, then I apologize. The cost of taxpayers of Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits failed to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Payroll for Monroe County Sheriff's Office of Todd K. Baxter. Jessica L. Rogers, $79,088. Jessica L. Rogers, you're being sexually harassed at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Todd Baxter? I hope you're not. Jessica Rogers is being sexually harassed at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Todd Baxter. What are you doing about it? Cost of taxpayers of Monroe County District Attorney Sandra Doorley expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits failed to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Payroll for the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. On this page are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 employees making $100,000 or more. So, payroll for Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Nancy Gilligan, $98,083. Nancy Gilligan, are you being sexually harassed at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office of Sandra Doorley? I hope you're not. Is there sexual harassment going on? Sheriff Todd Baxter, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Is there sexual harassment going on? District Attorney Sandra Doorley at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. What's the answer? If you refuse to answer, and you will, I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice and the Office of Governor Andrew Cuomo to ask you these questions, and you should be investigating. These are the two most important offices in Monroe County. And if you're breaking the law at the two most important offices in Monroe County, that is news. Cost of surveillance device purchased with taxpayer dollars by Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter fixed to a building at 2025 Penfield Road to monitor Christopher Chichester, 26 Sanders Farm Drive, walks through the parking lot next to the building. This should never happen in the United States of America. That's it right there. That's your camera. You bought this from me. That's why this Elliot Roth says to me, you're going to be arrested. And I've said this over and over and over now for 18 months, and it's nothing from you. You're buying a camera to nail me to the wall? What a disgusting concocted crime because of Shannon Meyer. You are the corrupt cop nightmare for every innocent citizen in the United States of America, Todd Baxter. Cost of taxpayers for photography session approved by Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter photographed 10 public employees underwater in a pool. Where was this abomination taken? These are your employees. What is the reason to take this photograph? Is this on the private time? I concluded, no. Because your employee has said to me that this is a training exercise. That's in the documentation that I have. A training exercise. If this is a training exercise, it's done on a time in the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And what's the purpose of this? Where's the training? What is the human being at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office that's being trained underwater? Why is the American flag in the background? What is going on here? Where's the pool? As I said previously, I swim in the pool at the YMCA in Penfield. That's a large pool. This could be taken at that pool. Where's the pool in Monroe County that this training exercise was conducted and then photographed and then posted to your Facebook page? I printed out the post. I had the color post of your Facebook page when this originally went up, because I went to your Facebook page and I saw that picture and I'm staring at it in total confusion as to what is going on there with that picture. You want people to know about it. That's why I know about it. Cost for a hotel and plane ticket for Monroe County Sheriff employee Ryan Fisher to attend the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, February 3rd, 2019, with his canine dog, Lola. The name of the office is the Monroe County Sheriff Office. And he is Monroe County Sheriff Office employee Ryan Fisher in Fulton County, Georgia. What's Monroe County Sheriff Office employee Ryan Fisher doing in Fulton County, Georgia, with his canine dog Lola? Why did you send Monroe County Sheriff Office employee Ryan Fisher to Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia? Do you, Todd Baxter, know that Rochester, New York, and Monroe County, New York is not in Fulton County, Georgia? Did you write this tweet, William Tadeo? You $101,000. You paid $100,000 to tweet about Ryan Fisher as we get ready to watch the Super Bowl with grateful men and women signed to keep fans and players safe in Atlanta, including MCSO's Deputy Ryan Fisher, Kenny and Lola. Deputy Fisher sent this photo from Atlanta! Exclamation point. Thank you both for your service. You're happy about Ryan Fisher being here in Atlanta, Georgia with your exclamation point. Here he is again. That's a story from Spectrum News. This is the first from Monroe County Sheriff's Office, with the officials saying there they are, quote, super, end quote, proud. The two will touchdown in Atlanta to help keep Super Bowl safe and secure. Super proud. That's the flag of the state of New York. Yourself should ever hire. Are you ever hired the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? Are you ever hired the Monroe County District Attorney's Office? The flag of the state of Georgia had to be changed in 2003. Ryan Fisher, Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee you are super proud of, is in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'll guess that once he got off the plane, he saw this that day. He saw the stars and bars, the official symbol of a redneck. What is your employee Ryan Fisher doing in Atlanta, Georgia? And I know what you're thinking at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. He needs to be arrested. We need to arrest him for saying this about our employee Ryan Fisher, demanding this information. Exactly. You think, when am I going to be in handcuffs again? When am I going to be in court again in Penfield where the prosecutor doesn't talk? What are the physical training standards and requirements at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? Sheriff Todd K. Baxter. You need to lose weight, Todd Baxter. You, Todd Baxter, the photographs I've seen of you, you're overweight. When I see you on TV, you're overweight. Perhaps you've lost weight. You have employee after employee after employee, including your hench hack, Lee LaRoque. It's $91,000. It's overweight. You, Lee LaRoque, are overweight when you're in here, when you're on constitutional search warrant. Andrew Reality's overweight. Michael Radler's overweight. Photographs I've seen of him, I've never met him. He's overweight. Employee after employee after employee. Institute a physical training test. You don't have one, right? That's your disgusting confession as to what you believe the physical condition of your employees should be. You don't have no PT test. You should get out there 3 times a week like it's done in the Army. If you've been in the Army, I believe you're a veteran, correct? Well, then you know. 3 times a week, you do the 2-mile run and push-ups and sit-ups. This is 3 times a week when I was in 101st. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Get your employees out there and mandate that they show up at 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's what it was when I was at the 2nd Squadron, 17th Cavalry. 6 a.m. you had to be there. It's your ass if you're not there at 6 a.m. And we're out there running push-ups and sit-ups. We do more before 9 a.m. Have you ever heard that kind of fashion stooge? That's not the case with Monroe County Sheriff's Office. Speaking of which, my favorite $0 employee, the $0 employee at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, the day in your Monroe County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter rehired Michael Radler after his 20-plus year career with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office ended. What do you do with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Michael Radler, for $0? You're not even making 1 penny. You're not even making $1. Are you paid any sum of money from any individual or any organization connected to Todd Baxter. You know what I mean by connected? They know him, he knows them. That's connected. And you're being paid because Todd Baxter is connected to some outside organization. Why would you go into the office for $0? I don't know anyone that works a full-time job, if in fact you do work a full-time job, for $0. You're paid no money on the payroll. Is that in fact the case with you, Michael Rather? Are you paid $0? You paid any sum of money? Are you paid private money from any institution, any organization, any individual connected to Todd Baxter? Connected. He knows them, they know him, he has influence upon it and over it. Do you understand that, Michael Riley, $0 employee? Because why the hell are you going into the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? We're not even paid one penny. Tell me the name, Sandra Doorley. This is your pathetic, nauseating corruption. It's a public proceeding. You're going to refuse to tell them. You've been demanding this for 18 months. Documentation for the case of Christopher Child Justice for John P. Menzo Jr. Penfield Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? Total silence. The proceeding ends. I go in the back. There's Andrew Rowley charging me with harassment. Second, sitting in the backseat of his vehicle. I see he moves toward me, put the handcuffs on. I take one step back because I'm surprised. And then I went to my knees. I'm on my knees in Penfield Town Court. And then I screamed, "You're violating my rights." I have not screamed since I was on the playground in elementary school at Wing Street Elementary School in Suffolk County, because I don't scream. At that day, I screamed. Documentation for the case of Christopher Child Justice for Paul Lemester in Penfield Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? He leaves his podium, this 5'2", three-piece suit boy, walks to Paula Metzer, hands her a piece of paper. I don't know what's on this piece of paper. He's not talking. He didn't talk. So I'm being accused of a crime with a piece of paper that he hands to Paula Metzer. She pronounces me guilty, and I'm not taken to Monroe County Jail. I'm in Livingston County. How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice? Bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzer. What was on that piece of paper? I'm going to write a bizarre Freedom of Information law for you. And it's going to have the language that I just said on it. I have to decide on the final language. But that it's going to come close to what I just said. The piece of paper handed to Paula Metzer that accuses me of a crime. I'm really trying not to laugh, because there are times where I say things that are so absurd given what you have done to me, Todd Baxter and Sandra Doorley, that I do want to laugh just for the relief, the stress release of it. I'm not going to laugh about that one. Doesn't that sound absurd? An assistant district attorney has a piece of paper, gives it to Paula Metzer. I don't know what's on it. That delivers me to jail. I'm going to write a Freedom of Information law to demand that piece of paper, the language on that piece of paper, because that piece of paper, Paula Metzer, delivers me to jail as an innocent man. I'm going to refuse to comply with every single one of these, because why? The law's a joke to you, Sandra Doorley, Todd Baxter. It does not matter. The law's a joke to you because how do you explain to the United States Department of Justice I've never heard Miranda versus Arizona? Payroll for the district attorney's office. $108,338 Amanda Bowling. Amanda Bowling, you're being sexually harassed. Monroe County District Attorney's Office, Sandra Doorley? I hope you're not. Have you heard of the Supreme Court decision Miranda versus Arizona? Amanda Bowling, what do you think about the fact that I have never heard Miranda versus Arizona, and I've been in jail twice as an innocent man? Does that matter to you, Amanda Bowling? Do you live in Monroe County, Amanda Bowling? What would you think if your friends and family members, people you like and you love, the most important people in your life, deposited in jail without committing a crime, without hearing Miranda, without the prosecutor talking? I hope, Amanda Bowling, that was happened to me never happens to anyone in your life. So, falsely reporting an incident, Consumer Insights to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office sent us on June 20th, 2019. This is among the 1,000 pages I'm going to send to the United States Department of Justice. This is how you come into my house, Todd Baxter. This Nancy Dooley works at this business, Consumer Insights, and to put the camera on. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to summarize it. I'm walking my little guy one day. Here's this Nancy Dooley backing up from the parking lot that I'm not allowed to walk through, that I'm the only American The only New Yorker, the only residents of Penfield, New York, the only residents of Monroe County that would be arrested for walking through it. She stops, she's staring at me, and at this point, I have no tolerance for this pathetic cult over there, Consumer Insights. And she stops, she's staring. I'm standing there with my little guy, he's on his leash, I'm standing there. I have no tolerance for her and Elliot Roth and the other people over there. She doesn't drive away. She backs up, she's staring at me and my dog. Drive away, Nancy. You know what I'm going to say. And I say to you, Nancy Dooley, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And you, Nancy, need to visit Brooklyn, New York. So you're going to see that going on all the time. How's that a crime? How is it a crime, Nancy Dooley, for me to say, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. How do you conclude that that's a crime? How do you conclude that that's a reason to call the Monroe County Sheriff's Office to my residence? I bring my little guy in and come back in here. There's that pounding on the door ring, the doorbell I'm so familiar with now. I let them in. I walk to the center. Your Monroe County Sheriff's Office employee, Todd Baxter, is right here. He is 6 inches from my nose. Perhaps you've heard the phrase, in your face. It's just a metaphor. He is in my face. What did you say to the woman in the car? I reply, what the fuck are you looking at? Fuck you. And then your employee, Todd Baxter, says to me, don't swear at me. So, when am I going to be arrested? When am I going to be in handcuffs again? When's that happening? Tell me. I will never go to Penfield Town Court, Paul Metzer. I don't care what you send here. I don't care about documentation. I don't care about this parasites, Dane Raj and Lynn Kumar Shah. Go into your little library courtroom. I will never appear in Penfield Town Court. And Paula Metzer, pay attention now. They will have to attack and assault me and present me in front of you. And you, Paula Metzer, if I'm in front of you again, and you begin to talk to me and accuse me of a crime, I will scream at you. You, Paula Metzer, pay attention. You will not be able to talk if you are ever again in my presence, Paula Metzer, because I will be screaming at you and over you. This is going to be the most ferocious sound you, Paula Metzer, have ever heard. My name is Christopher Chichester. I have never committed a crime.